Greetings, everyone, and we want to welcome y'all to this extraordinary, because this extraordinary segment of our You Thrive channel, because we over here thriving, and so we got the celestial quantum healing segment, okay? And this is it's quantuming. It's quantuming. And we have our host, dun, 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 Jenita in the building.
Hey.
And we have our other gracious goddess host, Miss Brady K, aka the Lilith Crew. That's what I call them, aka the Alchemist. All right. So as we said, we're going to continue some things. We be liking to talk about the sex and everything. You know what I'm saying? And all intricate parts of it. So today might be a little heavy, but it is our promise to y'all that we're gonna lighten it up. We're gonna keep a few giggles and everything up in that thing. But we just gotta talk about the shit that we just gotta talk about, because this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And we are doing quantum healing out this thing. You know what I mean? So we might save y'all thousands and thousands of dollars with these shows. I'm just gonna put it out there. Okay. So, one thing that we do want to talk about is the violations. You know what I'm saying? The violations of our adolescence, the violation of humans, period, when it comes to this sexual thing going on. I hate to use the word predatorial, but that is a thing. You know what I'm saying? Um, so because my situation is a little bit less personable, we're probably gonna end with my shit and go in order of the heavy shit. You know what I mean? Okay. So we're gonna kick it off with Goddess Jenita. Okay, because she gonna spill all the things. She gonna spill all the tea and
All
let
the
y'all
tea.
know what had happened. What had happened was
Okay. Well, um, one of the things that's very important to me is women communicating with people that they can trust. And I know a lot of people feel like they can't trust certain people. So it's important to put an intention out there
Mm,
of I am going to find someone or some people that I can talk to and get out my deep rooted situations so that you don't feel alone or like you're going through it by yourself or anything like that. And so, in the meantime, and in between time, we're here on this video, and you can make comments and stuff in the comment section. But we're here to let you know you're not alone.
mm,
You're not the only one that has been through terrible violations. So this is a safe space, and we are willing to share our situations so that you can see I'm not the only one. And and when you talk about it, believe it or not, it empowers you. When we keep it to ourselves and we don't talk, it keeps other controls on our mind and all in our heart and everything because we're so used to, I don't want to tell anybody. This is a secret. I don't want anybody to know what happened. I'm ashamed. What if I get blamed? And those things will happen a lot of times. You will get blamed sometimes. I mean, that does happen. But when you're the one being violated, no matter what anybody says, it is not your fault. And
mm,
you need to understand that. That is very important for you to know. It is not your fault that someone violated you. I don't care if you were walking around naked. It's not your fault because your body is yours and no one has the right to violate you in any kind of way shape, form, or manner. And so um, we're really good at beating ourselves up and like, well, I shouldn't have did that. Well, I shouldn't have did that. Well, maybe I should have. Maybe I should have. Okay, maybe that is not true. Regardless of the fact, your body is yours, and no one has the right to violate you in any kind of way, shape, form, or manner. So the first thing is start loving yourself, telling yourself it's not my fault. This happened to me, and and I'm going to get through this. So I want to make sure I said all that first because there's so many women out here who are suffering in silence, who are screaming silently. We understand and we get it, and that's why we're sharing because we want to help the collective.
And it's totally normal. It is normal. It is normal to blame yourself. It's normal to have shame. It's normal to have guilt. Because women, especially the strong ones, okay, they will beat themselves up for feeling like that. Like they
Mm-hmm.
know better, but they still feel it. And we have to remember that we are having a human experience. And in having this human experience, that's what we're all here doing. And many of us on these platforms is assisting us in remembering that you can sit in your human experience and not be tortured. You know what I'm saying? By your experiences, you know, open skills. Yes.
So the first time that April, Miss AP, that she interviewed me, that video is last week and the week before last. It's two parts. And so you're gonna see in there my name, Jenita Sherrod. It's a good thing to go back and go listen to that video
Yeah, because
because
we're
I
not, these videos too, especially with Brady K, you know, we're not about to go all into details and the scenes. Number one would be here all day. Number two is just no point in it. So we just gonna give short synopsis to let y'all know that we get it and we've been there and these experiences for most of us are the same.
exactly. So we both done videos. They're there to click on so you can get more details of the different some of the things that has happened to us. But anyway, um, so we want to talk about some violations. Okay, so to try to make this short, um, I went through several violations in my life, and I didn't know for I had a block, and I didn't know for a long time um, if my father violated me or not. And I had a reading with April, and I really needed to know because I had all kind of flashes, like that's what you'll see in the video. And I had blocks of memory from like let's just say 8 to 10, somewhere around there, and it's always been like, what has happened, and but I got flashes of things. I got flashes of seeing my father over me and doing things and having feelings that I felt. But I kept saying, well, that can't be true because my father, the big thing about my father was he kept telling me, I love you. I'm going to protect you. I'll always be there for you. So in my mind, the things that the little visions, that little blurps that were coming up, I kept thinking that can't be true. It must be something else. What is this? What's going on? So now all these years later, about to be 50, I had my reading, found out, yep, that did happen. And then I uh also had a regression with April where I was able to go in subconsciously into my mind. No, it's not any I wasn't hypnotized or anything like that, but I was able to go in and unlock those doors that I locked as a child. That I locked those doors to protect myself. And so I was able to go through a process, and we'll talk about some more of that stuff in later shows also. It's very powerful. but I was able to go in and unlock those doors in my mind and go and see for myself what my father did to me. And it was very something. It was something. It was something that was very needed. I'm glad I did it. I was determined to find out because I needed to know. And I also want to be able to help so many other women that's been through these different situations. And um, at the end of it, which is such a trip, at the end of it, I'm not even angry at him. That's what's the trip. I'm not even angry. I understood by the end of it why all that stuff happened, why I came here to break that generational curse for centuries going through my family of molestation. And it was my job to break. I say break every chain was to break that chain in my family.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll get into that information more. However, April would like for me to go into that. But that's that part. And I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful to go from where I went from to that. Oh, y'all, life changing. You talking about weight lifted off of me? Weight just gone. I felt so light, like I was floating. You hear me? It was so wonderful. And there's other I've been violated in other different times in my life too. And I'm understanding more and more why different things happened. And I have overcame it. I've overcome these different things. And I'm very
So,
happy
real
to be.
quick, tell us when is the first time you remember being violated, and then through your adulthood, what was the last time you remember?
Okay, so the first time that I remember being violated was when I was around 3 years old. My babysitter's son was raping me at 3. And um, during that time period, I told what happened. I told my daddy. I remember I talked to my mom. She said she does not remember at all. She has no memory of that. I don't know if she blocked it out or if we didn't tell her. That's all I got. I have no idea. But nothing happened except I wasn't. They stopped. My father stopped letting me be babysat by that lady. That was it. There was no comfort. I don't remember any kind of comforting happening to me. I don't remember none of that. So I didn't go. I wasn't protected in that situation, and that is to me one of the things that started for me for the not feeling protected from my dad. And then you said, and then tell the last. Is that what you said?
Yeah, the
Okay.
age you were the last
Okay.
time you remember.
Okay. And the last violation was in my adult life. And that was from 25 to 28, 29, somewhere around there. And this is in my adult life. And I went through a lot of shame with that situation because I was an adult and I wasn't raped. And these stories are also in the other video. But I almost got raped. And that's what I forgot to say in the other video. I almost got raped. And, but I was being violated sexually and um
Mind
mentally.
controlled.
Yeah, that's what it was. What I realized it was neuro linguistic mind control was being done on me. And then what I found out, which I forgot to say in the other video, which is so important to me, is that I found out years later that the stuff that that man was doing to me, he had done it to so many women before me. and did it to women after me.
Mm.
And that was something else when I found that out, because I was glad to. I mean, I'm not glad this happened to other women, but I was glad to know that it wasn't just me
Right.
only. You understand? So that was so that's it. So that was my last situation, and I haven't had any since, and am not going to.
No, because that's one of the important things of cleaning this up is because it might not look like the same in every violator that you're dealing with, but it's still violations going on until you clear that energy and deal with that trauma. And
Exactly.
so, Brady.
Yes.
So if
I
I'm
thought I was
right,
muted, but I wasn't muted.
I think that yeah, I was around the same age, 3, right?
Yeah, that's my first memories when I was 3. And I I love the synchronicity like right off the bat because you mentioned communication. And in the vortex today, I put my tarot reading up, and the card that came up was communication. I
Wow.
swear to. This is
Yeah.
beautiful. Like I you can't make this stuff up.
Exactly.
And the card came in upside down. So I take that
Mhm.
as like us looking at our communication from a different perspective, and all the ways we communicate,
Mm-hmm.
and also what communication we allow to ourselves, right?
Mm, that's a
So
big one.
yeah. So, it's very important. And like when I was younger, I just looked at every adult like they were, there to help me. They love me and are, they're an adult. They're going to show me the right way.
Yeah.
And
Superheroes.
it was a hard thing to realize that that was not it. It really hurt me when I had to sit with that, like, um, that feeling of like they didn't fit into the box that they were supposed to fit into. It really hurt me. But, you know, I'm still glad I, communicated the things that I did when I was younger, even though I felt like nobody listened to me. But, communication is just a very important thing. And my first memory of being violated is when I was 3 and I went over to my grandparents' house, and he went to give my grandpa a hug and sat on his lap, and he started putting his hand down my pants, and I kept moving around trying to be like what's
Right.
going on? Like this doesn't feel right, but this is my grandpa. He loves me, but this doesn't feel right. And um yeah, that was hard to deal with. But anyway, um the last time I was violated was about, oh, it's not okay. Wow, it's gonna be 1 year in September.
Mm,
And it wasn't like a relationship, it was more like a situationship, or just like a delusional thing that I had made up in my mind because I was so obsessed with this person and the fact that they gave me attention, and I
I'm gonna
thought they
say
were just
trauma
so
bonding.
amazing. Like they're just this beautiful model that just like, oh my God, they're paying me attention. Oh my God. Ugh, I lived in a delusional world for 10 years,
Mm,
and then one day he just like really just violent, like was abusive, like pushed me around, like drug me across the floor, like spit in my face. It was traumatizing and terrifying in the moment, right? In the hindsight, now I'm like glad he did that because it really woke me up to what I was allowing myself to live in.
Mhm.
Because even after he did that, uh, he like came home drunk one night and was like asking my forgiveness, whatever. Anyway, but I'm just glad I walked away and realized like that's just him, and every time it like every violation just escalated, and like that last one, it was just like, and even when I was drunk and he like had sex, he like basically raped me. I didn't say anything. That was probably about like 5 years into me knowing him. And mind you, we were never in a relationship, but like I literally was obsessed with him to the point where I just let him do whatever he wanted to me, because I was like, oh, one day he'll choose me because he'll see that I'm always there. I'm the loyal one.
No, so I want people to see this because people talk and pop they shit, right? That's the thing. Like she was getting her ass beat. Why she ain't just leave? She could have left at any time. Like, you want to name call, you want to judge,
And
and
that
all of
wasn't the
these
first
things.
time he put his hands on me. It was just the
Right.
worst time.
But what I'm saying is that statement that put yourself in other people's shoes. Like if you ain't walk they walk, like you really can't talk. You know what I'm saying? Because we have been through experiences, and in order for a human being to stay quote unquote sane, it's really all about the story that you tell yourself in order to continue to just operate at a minimal space in life. You know what I'm saying? Without totally fucking checking out, you know? So you have to, the story that you tell yourself is crucial. And
Mm-hmm.
especially here with these goddesses where we have situations where they had fathers in their life. You know what I mean? They came from what we would call, like two-parent homes, family oriented, a strong structure. They had strong religious structure, all of these things. And this shit is going on in their homes, and their fathers who were supposed to be in their minds the protectors in the case was the violator, and then in another case was the protector of the violator, you know. Well, actually, in both cases, protector of the violators. You know what I'm saying? You could say that
Yeah.
True.
instead of the
True.
daughters feeling protected. And you got to think of what that does to someone's mental and then how it carries on with the men in their life. And I mean, these are your foundations. You know what I'm saying? This is your dad. So, of course, if your dad is doing XYZ or you feel this way about your dad, then these other men are just, you know what I mean? That is the main show. What are you talking about? So we just really got to pay attention to that judgment and that bias against people when you ain't been about that life. And even for those so called healed ones, your ass ain't healed if you got judgment and bias. That's all I'm saying.
Mhm.
Okay. And then so I just
No,
want to
that's good.
briefly put that shit out there, because then there's people who feel like, okay, this happened in childhood, you know you get older in age, deal with that shit, move the fuck on. But at the same time, if you don't, because this shit is not easy, and especially in Janita's situation, like she's a sex coach, she's gonna be assisting women and other humans with a variety of things. But To not have lived it certain situations out yourself, you cannot be of assistance, you know? And one of those things is she was really gung ho about going back and literally playing that shit over again. She really wanted to see it. She wanted to know what happens. And anybody who's ever done any type of regressions, or if they were able to be conscious in those hypnotherapy sessions, you know, you were there. You're literally there. You know what I'm saying? And that takes a lot of courage. There's not people that have that courage. That's why most women or victims, so called, are stuck in that space because they don't have the strength to do that. They don't have the courage to do that. Or, you know, like Sundana Brady K, to actually sit with and process this is how I feel about my loved one and be honest about it and then deal with the reality of it. Most people tell themselves a lie because they can't deal with fucking reality, period. And so to sit with that, deal with that in all of these cases, and to come out feeling gratitude. Like, I'm thankful that this took place because this has made me who I be.
Mhm.
And I'm a bad motherfucker. I'm a bad motherfucker. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
all of this is so important. And then to bring it back to my situation, I was actually drugged and raped. And I threw it out. Okay. I ain't gonna lie. We threw that shit out with the trash. Okay. Like, I arose. I realized what had happened to me. You know, you play everything back. And I was like, I mean, like in that instant, I threw it. And I mean, when I say, imagine yourself taking something and throwing it behind you, just chugging it, bitch, just chugging it. I threw it. And I threw it far. Like it never happened. It didn't happen. And it was crazy because years went by. And I mean, I'm coaching at this time. And I'm coaching people through their shit, you know what I mean? Dealing with, you know. And I threw that shit so far back. Like I forgot about it. Like there was no inkling. It didn't, you know what I mean? I dealt with it a little bit when I got back because I told the lover I had at the time and my mom what had happened, told them what had happened. But because I was an adult when it happened, it felt like they blamed me. You know what I'm saying? Like you're this old and how you gonna put yourself in that situation? It's like I ain't put myself in that situation. Some motherfuckers came up in my shit and put shit in my bottle. You know, type of shit, you know? Because some other bitches allowed it. But at the same time, I did allow that to happen to me because I shouldn't have been hanging out with hoes for sure. I had outgrew that, but my lesson at the time was no judgment, no bias, but still learning how to not have no judgment and no bias. But I don't rock like that. So if I don't rock like that, that's how y'all rock. But I'm still in the space of allowing shit to come to me that will come to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because that's y'all lifestyles. Period. You know? So that shit popped off. That was my learning lesson. You know? And so I went through this. I mean, life had got real dark for a minute. And I am a fairy. Okay, let me put the shit out there. I'm a fairy. Y'all ain't know. Okay. And so I am from the south side of Chicago too. But I was dealing with some people where I was like, yo, how do people treat each other like this? Like, I mean, you be hearing about it and shit. You know what I'm saying? You might even see it on the TV, but you don't live in it. Like, it don't show up in your reality like that. So I was a little bit naive to some things. You know what I'm saying? And I had got to a point too with dealing with my own family, just personal shit, the lover shit, all this shit on top of shit. And I was just like, fuck it. Put it all on me. Put it all on me now because I'm sick of this shit. Like, I'm at the point where I'm feeling like I'm gonna lose my essence. Like I'm not no longer like I'm losing my essence. Who I be. Like there's a difference when you tad and when you sick of being tad and when you just
Mm.
feel like you totally fucking losing yourself. Like you ain't got nothing to give nobody because you ain't even got it to give it to yourself type shit.
Mhm.
And so it's
Mhm.
like, yo, this is my last attempt before I check up out of here because I'm sick of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm ready to be out. So I went through it like the first thing was a bottle of alcohol and some cigarettes. And I sat in a dark ass room and I was like, I want to know all the ugly about me first. All kind of shit. Manipulator, controller, like all kind of shit. I was like, me, and scenes playing out where I was like, ah, you know? So then I had like a whole ego death in there. Like, oh, it was fucked up. I was broken. I was wounded. I felt guilty. Like, damn, I'm a fucked up person. I'm fucked up. So anyway, that make a long story short, that led to me hiring coaches, doing research on the different forms of DMT, all that shit. I ended up going to a resort, taking plant medicine, taking the frog, the bufu aloe veras, you know, and that shit came up for me during this process. I was like, oh yeah, I was raped. And so when it first came up, I just cried and I cried and I cried. And I remember just being so mad at myself. Like, bitch, you was a grown ass woman. Like, what had happened? And then I went through all the ways to blame myself. I did. Like, bitch, you was drinking too much. You was partying. Why you care so much about partying? That's why you was still hanging out with them bitches because you was having fun with them bitches. You know what I mean? Like, that was your lifestyle. Like, stripper bitch. All the shit that motherfuckers tell you about yourself, that's low and low vibrational. Like I was spitting it at myself like a mad rapper. Then I felt guilty and then I felt the shame. And then after that, it turned into I felt like the scum of the fucking earth. Like I couldn't remember how many men, if there was more than two, you know what I'm saying? Because things were kind of like but I remember two of them walking us down to the room. And then the third chick that was with us, she was still up at the pool. And she was like, when she came down to kick the motherfuckers out, it was like a few of the motherfuckers that was coming out the room. Like, you feel dirty, you feel disgusting. It's like, do I got AIDS? Do I got like,
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? And so like I said, it was disgusting. I felt terrible. And then I do remember at the time I was still in contact with my ex. And I'm not one of those people at that time. I wasn't one of those people where I am now. I was still working on vulnerability and shit. So I'm not one of them motherfuckers that just go scream that shit out to the world and everything, child. I was still processing at that time. And he, as a man, was like, "Why would you feel like that? Like, fuck them motherfuckers. They some punk ass niggas." Da, da, da. He was going in. I was like, "Yeah, yeah, that's right." Like, and so, anyway, like I said, I did more healing, more coaches, got down to the bottom of certain things, how I was feeling about men, the thoughts of men that I was fighting you know, why my relationships were as they were. Like I had commitment issues. I would always choose men that wasn't available. And I liked it like that. Most of the time I was only in a relationship because society say you got to be in a relationship. But, I was always kind of weird about sex, like all kind of shit like I was processing and dealing with. So anyway, make a long story short, through that journey, I ended up going from those terrible ass feelings to gratitude. Like, I don't know what those men faces look like now, and it's been, a while. It's been a while. A lot of blunts and liquor later. So I don't know, but I just picture them and I just send them love. You know what I'm saying? Because something wrong with you to be doing that. Passed out. It's like those people, I forget what they call them, that do the dead bodies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm, something going on up there. You know what I mean? And then for me
Mhm.
to attract that situation and for me to be as hardcore as I am to attract such a situation, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm a tough little cookie out this mug. And that situation has helped me create a measurement for myself. Like if you can get over this situation and feel unbothered by talking about it, remembering it, and really be okay, really be in gratitude, nonetheless, not just okay, but in gratitude, like it ain't nothing I can't do. Like it's nothing that we cannot do. And I promise, all our promises is to everybody that it is no trauma that you have been through that was too big for you or it wouldn't have happened to you. You know what I'm saying? And so that feeling of being proud of yourself, loving yourself, it is here for you. It is here for you.
Mhm. Yes.
So that's my speech, y'all.
Excellent. Excellent. It's interesting how we've been through us three have been through so many different situations, but we have all these similarities too. You know, um, the last situation I was violated, I went through so much shame because of being grown and people see me a certain type of way. Well, how could that happen? Come on now, but this, that, and the other. You know too much for to allow that to happen to you. And that was a very hard situation. I lost friends. I lost a boyfriend. It really weren't friends,
That
but
part.
anyway, right, right. But but when you get violated, let's just say the first violation, whatever age that is, and then you go, especially if I can't talk, especially happens as a child or when you're young, um, it puts you in a state where you start attracting more of that stuff, and you don't understand why.
Hmm.
Why is this happening to me? Why is that happening to me? It opens a door. So for some of you all feel like, what's wrong with me? Why do people keep doing this to me? It's because a door was opened. And until that situation is dealt with, until you are able to go and close that door, which is why we're here, okay, y'all. You're gonna have this vulnerability going on with you, that uneasiness, that uncomfortableness, the shame, and all that type of stuff, and getting it out, talking about it to someone you trust. That by itself, like on the video that I did with April last week for last, literally talking about that situation that I've been holding, only a few people knew. Um, talking about that, it released so much on that video.
Hmm.
Like y'all saw me being healed on the video in real time. And now it doesn't control my mind. The shame is gone, the feeling bad is gone. Now I'm like, you know what? It's out there. It's out there. So what more can happen? I don't care if anybody comes to me try to say anything about it in a negative way. I don't care. What I care. I don't care what anybody else thinks about me. You understand? I feel good about myself and I put it out there. And update, update. A friend of mine saw the video and she said, I know exactly who you're talking about. And uh found out some information about their brother, the guy's brother. So that was interesting, y'all. And so I got, for me, instant manifestation of, I know you talk, I know who you talking about. I get what you're saying. I'm so sorry this happened to you, with love and compassion to me. And I know who you're talking about. Like that by itself was huge. That by itself was enormous. And just the love that she
And
gave
just
me.
about speaking out because, the courage that you goddesses have is amazing. You know what I mean? And we do make it, lighthearted, but it's not an easy thing to actually live through. If it was, we all be walking around healed. And healing isn't like I sit with it for a day or two or maybe even a week and then I'm good. No, like you really got to do the work. You really got to face your shit. You really got to dig in there. What story are you telling yourself? What is the reality? Like all of these things. That's why I'm so ignited at these goddesses right here, especially Brady K, because I met Brady first. I've known Brady less than a year. Okay. And she's talking about just a year ago, she was in a crazy ass relationship. If y'all would have seen what I have witnessed with this woman in, has it been 6 months? I think it's been six
Since
months.
February.
Yeah, since February. Okay.
Yeah.
Since February, your mind would be blown. Like you and the stuff that you're hearing right now, like you? Yes, her. Like when you go in there and you really do the work, it's not easy. Ego shows up. I know it's a couple times she ain't like my ass. As a matter of fact, it's a lot of motherfuckers walking around here who speak against my name because they really just didn't want to do the work. And if you don't want to do the work, quit fronting. Ain't no future in your fronting. Like that's what we come here
Yeah.
for is to do the work. We come here not just to be great, but to have the optimal fucking experience. You know what I'm saying? And these women are walking it as we like living proof of it that they're being it. And who else to assist those that are at the beginning process of their journey where they're just waking up every day and that's it's on their mind all day every day. They are walking around in constant anxiety, constant, that anxiety, that nervous feeling, if even something's too loud. You know what I mean? You just go past somebody like you're like, damn girl, calm down. You know what I mean? Just living life on the edge. And I don't mean that other edge. I mean, just like they fragile. They're going to break at any moment now. You know what I mean? You going to go talk to some psychiatrist with a degree that ain't nobody even around her that had
Hasn't
these
been through
experiences.
anything.
And if they did go through these experiences, they ain't talking about it. That's who you going to go see. And you about to pay them how much? A month. And you gonna be going to that person for 5, 10 years. You probably been with that motherfucker about 7 years, and you feel a little bit better. I'm just saying.
Right, because it's a whole spiritual side to it that
Yeah.
that's not dealt with in that arena. So there's layers. There's layers to this.
And I just want to add on to what you were saying about um the door that was open somewhere, right?
Yeah.
That does not necessarily mean it was opened in your lifetime. For the women around here who think like who hear you say that and they're like, oh, okay. Where like what can I remember where would this door have been open? Some of us were born into that open door because of ancestral things that
Exactly.
have happened.
Exactly.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be like a traumatic sexual experience, but just like programming
Hmm.
that was really heavy, in the later generations. Super heavy. Oh, so I am really strong in the knowing that those born, in like my generation, Janita, your generation, AP, we are in the same generation. Anyway, but we are here to break
25.
these
I'm
cycles.
25. I don't know what none of y'all bitches is talking about.
That's okay. You can live in your delusion. I ain't worried about it. Girl, go ahead, do you? You look at, hey,
No, I appreciate
it's
that.
but we're really here to break these cycles, and that's
Right.
and so that little voice in you that's saying, hey, this don't feel right. Like I'm I really, heard it louder when I was younger, and then it kind of got, silenced as I got older and more programmed, and it's not our fault. you know we are born trusting the people we're born to, no matter if it's a crackhead or a billionaire. you know like, we're born trusting them, like, because we're just born a pure soul, like a pure in like, so yeah.
And that's a big deal too. Because on
There's ways to alchemize it. Yeah.
a bigger spectrum too, because you just since you want to ascend and everything, let me go ahead and keep the ascension going. You know what I'm talking about? So quantum, because remember this show is celestial quantum. So we gonna look at this thing, you know what I'm saying? And so to keep it even more funky, right? You are a human playing out your soul's dream. So it's like even what you're calling ancestral, you know what I'm saying? Like you chose that family bloodline to come in, you know what I mean? You didn't have no human emotions. You just knew this theme fit how the soul wanted to express itself in this focus at this time. There was no judgment, no bias, no wrong or right, no low vibrational, da 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 da. It was like, oh, this is going to be an experience that equals, it's like literally numbers and equations, and you know what I mean? Like it's that impersonal. You know what I'm saying? And so we got to remember that. But I did want to take it back to, um, I did want to take it back to Janita real quick, just because and Brady K can speak on this too, but just coming from a religious like background, there's already a lot of programming that's done, especially as a child, right? And so you kind of open up a pathway for that and make the mind a little bit more bendable when it comes to programming, right? And so in her situation as an adult, people would not understand. There would be judgment about how could you let a man talk you into doing things that are inappropriate. And if anybody knows anything about mind control, I mean, you can go look it up. The CIA done so much research on this. There's so much information out there. We done made movies on it. Hypnotherapy is, they're using all of these forms of these different modalities, and they're like programming your brain. I mean, there's people out there now, you could say a certain word and they totally check out and go into murder, murder, kill mode. You know what I'm saying? Or some of these horrific events that have actually been by people who have been mind controlled. So it's a very serious thing, number one. Number two, your brain is that flexible, right? And that easily programmed. The upside to that is how far you can bring it back to heal yourself because it is so easily programmed. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But
Mhm.
just for us to be mindful and be careful. So, can you talk to me a little bit? Especially, I know that you watched the whole. like kind of documentary on um what is it? Neurolink.
Linguistic mind control.
Yeah.
So it's a process, and I'm not gonna have all the technical stuff right now to give you, but for some people they go through where their mind is broken, right, by
Right. And for
trauma.
you too, you've already had trauma. So it was easily,
That
because
was already.
usually with the children, that's what they do now. They put them through extensive trauma. When they're trained in these programs, like they put them through extensive trauma, they break
Mhm.
the mind, and then they start going in with the programming with the mind control.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly. So, right, since my mind was already broken with so much mind control with being in the cult called Seventh Day Adventist.
She's just gonna put the shit out there.
Yeah, and put it out there. That's right. I said it anyway. And that's what I was raised in. Three generations on one side, four generations on the other side. In there deep, thick, right? And with the pro is patriotic, of course, patriotic, right? The men are in control. The women supposed to do what the men says, right? And so, and then I'm like I said, I'm almost 50, so mine goes back far when things were way um uh more indoctrination than it is now. And then you got my dad and my mom's their age, and then you got their parents, so it's like thick, 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 and then so I was getting a little bit lighter and lighter. But anyway, um, it's a so for my situation, because of the programming. Okay, let me try back up a little bit and also try to make this short. So, like my father, for instance, when I got in trouble, he would um spank me for a very long time. And then spank, that just sounds so small. Whoop me for a
I'm like,
very long.
we was whooping ass back then,
Yeah,
child. You was
exactly.
getting
I
your
don't know
ass
why. I
whooped.
mean, it wasn't small. It was big. Like I said in the other video, whip had fat whelps on my bottom, on the side. Sometimes they might bleed a little bit. Like it was
Hmm.
ridiculous. And then I couldn't kids who ran, that never even crossed my mind to run. What do you mean? When I saw kids run when they got in trouble, I was like, oh, they about to get killed. Are they kidding? No, I was very controlled. I had to lay across the bed with my arms by my side. I better not move. And I better take that whooping, however long it's going to take. And I'm of course I'm crying and stuff, but I gotta be just perfectly straight after the whooping, and sometimes before, and then sometimes before and after. My father would torture me with talking to me, and this is what I mean. I have to. He's sitting like on the edge of a bed, chair, or whatever, right? And I had to stand in between his legs, and I'm like about this close to his face, and he might talk from 1 to 3 hours, and I'm like this the whole time, and he's talking about getting on me about whatever, going through all kind of stuff, and I'm like, yes sir, no sir, this close, y'all see how close I am, this, yes sir, no sir, yes sir, no sir, and my legs are hurting, I'm staying in one spot, I can't be moving around, I can't be fidgety, I'm just having to be still and look him dead in his eyes, and yes sir, no sir, and inside I'm screaming to the top of my lungs, I'm hollering, you make me sick, I can't stand all this, but I'm going crazy in my mind, but I'm, yes sir, no sir, if he spits in my face I better act like he didn't, I better be like none of that. And so that's from a child, from little, growing up, of I gotta make sure I stay in control. I gotta make sure I do exactly what he says. I gotta make, it's just everything. It was the type of, I'm supposed to be perfect, no, I'm not you know what I'm saying. You can't not gonna do everything perfect and stuff. And of course, I did things and get in trouble my own self. But just the way that he disciplined me, it's like when he would leave me places by myself, I knew what to say so no one would kidnap me. I knew what to say so no one would be wondering what the heck is going on with this girl. Why is this little girl by herself for so long? I knew how to evade police situations. I knew how to make sure no one called DHR to come get me. I mean, I was programmed big time. So, and I was a daddy's girl. Like I loved my daddy, and even though, yeah, not protecting at all. Went through a lot of stuff. But anyway, so that's already in there. And then as far as in the religion, the father's the head of the household. Whatever he says, that's what it is. And my daddy's like, I'm the man of this house, that type of thing. And what happens in this house stays in this house.
Mm.
Oh yeah, that was a big one right there. I knew you're not supposed to talk to nobody about the stuff that's going on. And I remember like I had some of my friends at church one day. All my daddy had beat the crap out of me, out of my butt. He didn't beat me in my face and stuff, but it was, with the belt and everything. And I remember one day I was in so much pain, and I went to the bathroom and I was like, look, uh, don't tell nobody. And I pulled my panties down because I needed somebody to see what happened to me. And I was like, but don't tell nobody, okay? And all of them were like, what? They couldn't believe because they didn't go through that type of stuff. To them, that was like, what the hell? And I was like, yeah, I got in trouble, blah, blah, blah. But don't say nothing. Don't tell nobody because I don't want to get in trouble. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell your mommies or daddies. I just want y'all to see what happened to me. And anyway, so you got that controlling thing, and then you got the religious part of like trusting, having a trust because of people seeming to know certain things and supposed to be living a type of righteous life and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
So
like
with
a
the person,
blind trust. I mean,
yeah,
they
and it's
teaching you to worship something outside of yourself that you can't see. So you got to trust blindly.
exactly. So with the last person who violated me, because he was very religious, and he knew so much, right? And I looked up to that. And uh and he was always like my little I grew up the only child until I was 25. I grew up the only child. So little sis, little sis, little sis. And we just got really close. And so, like I said, the story is in the other video. But when for some reason, every time he said little sis, it gave me a comfort. It made me feel like, oh, he really cares. This is my big brother type thing. It did something, right? And with what I ended up finding out was I couldn't understand why I kept allowing him to do the stuff he was doing for so long, and to the point where I didn't want to stop. I don't want this. Stop doing this. I don't. And he kept being able to do the things that he did to me, and I didn't understand. I was like, what the hell is wrong with me? Why can't I stop him? Why do I feel like I have to keep dealing with this? And then we were looking at a video, and the video was talking about neuro linguist and mind control. So there was a trigger that he had implemented in me that I didn't know about, that he had did over the years. And so the trigger was little sis. So whenever you my little sis, it's like as soon as I heard that, it's like okay, like it's like I had to allow stuff to happen. And it was just it was so frustrating to me. But that's what it was. And so when I looked at the video and they explained what neurolinguistic mind control was, I was like, that's what he's doing to me. That's when it all clicked, because I was like, what's going on? I need to understand. I want to stop this. I don't want this to happen anymore. And then I was like, it's when he says little sis. That's what makes me keep allowing this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like
And
everything he does is because he loves you, so it's okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
exactly. And I care about you, and I wouldn't do anything to hurt you. You know, the same thing here from her from my dad, so like that. You know, act like a protector he was always acting like a protector, always acting like a protector, always act like he just loved me to pieces, and as a little sis. So yeah, it was very interesting. So I confronted that. That's in the video, but I went through so much frustration and shame, and then shame afterwards because information had to come out. Oh, the shame was so because you feel like, how can I explain this? I'm grown.
Mm-hmm.
It was
But that
crazy.
mind control shit is real. And then to have a activation word that
Right.
because the brain and the nervous system, it's all part of that system is connected. And so when he says that, also it sends your body into relaxation mode. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a total allowance. And, and
Mhm.
and let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something that I learned about, and this is gonna be information for people that in certain churches. He went to theology. Okay. So like pastor school, right? And what I
Always them.
learned, you said what?
I said it's always them, ain't it?
I know. But let me tell y'all when I was coming out, one of the things as I was learning when I was coming out of religion with all the lies and all the mess and the control, one of the things that I learned that really made me so angry was that one of the universities, I found out that they were teaching the pastors mind control.
Yeah. Hmm.
I was hot. Like, wait a minute, how y'all violate? Y'all supposed to be allowing the Holy Spirit to lead people. You're supposed to be led by the
And
Holy
so I
Spirit.
even do that. Mm-hmm.
Why y'all learning mind control on people
Because
to
it's looked
make
at
to
like a science. I learned that in political science, like and in sociology, because I used to want to be a politician, all that shit. And once
mm,
I learned that, like even the commercials and shit, you
yeah,
know what I mean?
all
Like
the
you
programming.
think you got a craving for McDonald's or you got a craving for this. No,
Exactly.
they didn't really hypnotize your ass in that little commercial that y'all
Exactly.
watching. Like, yeah, it's
Exactly.
a real thing.
It is. And so when I learned that they are in school learning how to mind control their congregation,
Hmm.
which is the total opposite of what it's a quote quote supposed to be, being led by the Holy Spirit. That really, that just, y'all, I was hot. I was hot. And so as I've been putting all the pieces together of what's been going on in my life and stuff in that situation, that the training, that's how he was able to do this to me and multiple other women and women after me, because of him being so religious and so know so much and looking up to him, and he would never do that type of thing. No, 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 I'm
And
doing
it's
this to
so
help
crazy
you.
too, because when you look into that type of stuff, because
Mhm.
like I said, I used to want to be a psychiatrist. So I studied all, for a while. I spent years studying all things mind. And
Right.
it's so crazy because when you look into those books, the power and mind control and when they get real deep into it, even, like the power of persuasion and all of these things,
Yeah.
it irritated me because it was just like y'all just mimicking good people. Just be a good person.
Right. Right.
You know what I
And
mean?
why are you
Like
trying to control?
this is what good people, I mean, not, back then it was good people, but now it's more like this is what people who love you do. This is what high vibrational love really is. Like you don't have to act it out. You just be it. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. But they low vibrational, so they gotta fake
They
it, and
looking
they
for
think
the
it's all about
power.
control.
Uh,
Yeah.
It's crazy.
the the new energy that's coming in now is really almost forcing people to see that perspective.
Yeah.
Like, like, no, this, like that little voice in my head is right. Like, this is not how it's supposed to be, you know.
Exactly.
on every
Exactly.
level.
Exactly.
And um, you know, the above is as the below, and everything that's happening right now on this earth is also, it's all,
It's happening within your ass too. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
Honest disclosure.
yeah.
As above,
And
so below,
we're
as
all
within,
being
so
forced to
without.
grow, or you're either forced to, you either go with it and you grow and you elevate, or you're out of here. Period. It's really like that right now, and we can physically see it with all the people around us who are passing away,
Yeah.
you know,
So true. So true.
and um we really have to,
Give thanks.
yes, be in a
Because
state of
we said that
gratitude
shit the other day.
constantly.
I'm like, yo, whoever is not here for my optimal good, like, I'm tired of pussyfoot and I want them gone. And I kid you
Exactly.
not, like, shit done been real in the last, like, for real, like, couple of weeks, though. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, everyone's realizing this programming, and I mean, Janita, like the stuff you've been through is like, wow, the strength you have to have recognized that. And I was talking to my mom the other day because she had nobody to tell her,
Right.
oh, you create your own happiness, and
Right.
like she had nobody. She realized all that stuff on her own, and I
mm-hmm,
called her the other day out of the blue to like remind her of that. And
Hmm.
it's so I love that we're talking about this now, and like, because yeah, it's just shows the strength of your spirit, and
Thank
I
you.
feel like more people are being born now with that strong spirit. That's why, you see so many people protesting what's what the governments are around the world are trying to do to us. And um, as chaotic as things may seem, it's really actually getting better. And
Exactly.
the
And that's
so,
why
tipping
so
point,
many people are
the
leaving
tipping point
churches.
is coming, huh?
And that's why so many people are leaving churches by the millions and they're trying to figure
Oh
out what the
yeah,
heck is going on. People are waking up. They're finding out that this is all a lie. Y'all doing this to control us. I'm in charge. I I am source. I am God living a human experience.
hmm,
yeah,
I'm pretending that I don't know that I'm God and I am living a human experience.
mm-hmm,
I'm playing in this game, but they don't know that yet. And with the programming being so thick and so strong, it's so much cognitive dissonance
mm-hmm,
that stuff can be so clear, crystal clear, written out, clear as day. You see it's clear, and you go, nope, that's not what it is. It's what I was programmed.
yeah.
Time for people to wake up and start questioning
hmm,
everything. Just because your mama did it, granddaddy, grandma, papa, whoever, does that mean that it was correct. It's now time for people to stand up on their own 2 feet, start asking questions because they have questions. Stop ignoring your questions and start investigating because the information is out there. But it's inside. Your higher self is telling you what's really going on, leading you towards the truth. Stop denying it. Start asking questions and going forward
Embracing
in
that
the right
little voice
direction.
inside.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
It's really something, but okay. I'm go ahead. I'm done on that part.
So,
You
Brady,
know
tell me out of all of, because you done a lot, but out of all the activities, that you have done on your healing journey, just off the top of your head, because I know you'll probably think about it later and be like, damn, I should have said. But just off the top of your head right now, in the moment, what thing you did that you felt made like a huge change or really shifted your thinking?
Oh, Um, oh my goodness. I I can't say that there was like a moment where I was like, oh, like I need to change. No. Like I'm so hard-headed, right? That I literally had to be like injured, right? So I was like on a party bus, with people who I thought were friends. Even though, everyone's good people, right? I'm, but anyway, I like twisted my knee. I was in bed, like couldn't really walk well. I had pain for a good 6 months, but I like worked, I healed myself because our body is that strong.
Mm-hmm.
And so in that time, like I was basically stranded by myself and nobody was coming to really see me unless I literally paid for them to come to see me and had to cook for them and do all that, even though I was injured, hobbling around in the kitchen trying, yo, anyway. So that time, it really like kind of forced me to like, I guess, look at my life,
Mm-hmm.
and like my dad had died like 2 year 5 years previous of that, and I told myself, you know I was going to learn from his mistakes. It's almost like his spirit just like came to me and was like, nah, you're going to do better, and I don't care if you do it willingly or kicking and screaming. And I, of course, chose the kicking and screaming because I'm that hard-headed. But yeah, it just showed me, like I have I have to attract better.
Mm-hmm.
And I found like Billy Carson and then Black Magic and then, the Fairyland
Good.
that we call You Thrive Tribe on the Vortex of Discord. And yeah, it's been that was really my turning point. And that
Well, I
was
love that you say that.
2020.
Wow.
When you're operating and still living in your trauma, you put up with shit that you shouldn't be putting up with. And once you start to heal yourself, you can find it to be a lonely space sometimes because the people that you once were close to, now you're clear. You're not coming from a space of trauma because you have that lens on or those glasses on with everything. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes. That's why I always say people act out what they feel on the inside. You want to know how somebody really feels? Spend some time around them. I guarantee you find out because they're gonna act that shit out. It's just how
Mhm.
it goes. And so that is the perfect example. Like, what was the biggest thing in your life? When I had to sit fucking still and had to really sit and think about my own shit and started to heal myself, you know,
Yeah.
and be by self because now you gotta clear that shit out and you gotta clear those people out. It's time to go. It's kind of disconnect those energy streams and disconnect from their energy fields so y'all can stop co-creating together, so to speak. You know what I mean? And do it on we'll say higher level, which is collectively humanly. But as far as motherfuckers being up in your space, in your exact energy field, and on that bullshit, no, we not doing that. We not doing that. So thank you for that. That was a great example. I think I actually even posted a video of you saying
Oh
that.
yes. I have a couple videos with April in the You Thrive Tribe coaching on YouTube that you can go see, and I tell more about my
The
story.
back end of the life story, honey, the
Yeah.
juices. And then so real quick, because we're gonna get into we're gonna ask Jenita the same question, and then we're gonna get into really quickly, and I mean really quickly because these ladies are so talented. These goddesses are so talented. They do so much. Right? I'm just saying, we be here all day talking about how they can assist us all, but we just want to get to the knit and the grit of it, and what services, as well as this show, because this show is also a service that is provided. So, Janita, tell me, same question to you. What is something that you feel like was just like a major turning point in your healing journey?
In my healing journey. Okay. So let me have you be a little bit more specific of the angles that you're talking about. Because it is so many different areas. So when you say,
Just remember the feeling when you had, like just close your eyes and when you had the greatest feeling, ah, like, oh shit. I am healing. Like I am like I'm kind of over that shit right there. You know what I'm saying? Type of
okay, so it will definitely be, okay, I'm gonna do the combo because that's what it was. It's gonna be the combo for me.
yeah.
It was a combo of, this all has happened within a month.
Mm,
And that was when I got my first reading
mm,
from Miss April. Um, um, oh, that I've had so many questions, and so many questions were answered, and that's when I learned more information about my dad, because that's been like my one of my biggest, like that. My dad's situation is what went throughout my life that's had me have different types of I made different choices and stuff like that because of that. So many wrong choices and stuff like that. But it's learning experience. I mean, we in school, so learning experience. But that, and then when I wanted, it's like, okay, let's find out what's going on. What happened? I want to know what happened because I want to get this, pull it out, put it in the earth, let her neutralize it, and let it be gone from me. Right. So the regression, that, so, and then all this happened within what, 2 weeks, within 2 weeks,
yeah.
within within 2 to 3 weeks, all that happened. And y'all talking about feeling light, and that heavy weight that I've been carrying all these years, because that stuff was connected to so many different things in my life. So what happened is, like, I felt power coming in
Mm,
to, you know what I'm saying? Because my power, I had released it, right? I had gave it away to this person, gave it to that person, gave it away, gave it away, gave it away, gave it away. And it's like my power was like, shh. And the weight of all the crap was
mm,
gone. And I was just like, oh, this is so good. This is so good. This is so delicious. I feel so light. I'm like a feather. I feel so light. I feel so
mhm.
light. So when I was 49 and still in for 3 more days.
Okay.
And you know what? And I knew
Amazing.
this type of stuff had to happen before I turned 50, which is Friday. And I'm so happy. I am so happy, because before it happens, so that I can start, which is the process of me starting my, instead of saying my next chapter of my life, my
Yeah.
new book. And it's a whole new book. That old book that's the past. I'm in a new book where my past will help will help me help myself and help others in my future.
Wow. That's gonna be a magical year too. 50, the number 5. We hold that space for you, which is about deep transformational change. So yeah, that's a little lit. That's a little lit. That's a little lit.
This stuff. Go ahead.
The communication card I pulled earlier is the number 14, which equals 5.
5.
I'm just saying another synchronicity, whatever. Anyway,
No,
Awesome.
5.
major
Awesome.
transformation because of how powerful and just bold and brazen we are being in our communication right now, and showing other women out there, you don't have to hide this.
Hmm.
It's not just you. You don't have to hide it. You don't have to make yourself small for these men or anybody out here, you know. And I, you know, like you, Jenita, felt the pain and the shame um because of programming religiously, and you know, even just beyond that, like my dad's side, they were all military. My mom's side, Sicilian, the man is all like, it's all about the man on both those sides. So it's like,
What they say goes, regardless of what they do.
yeah. And then with religion, it was like, oh, honor thy mother and father. No matter
Yes.
what, you honor thy
Exactly.
mother and father. And it's a breaking the commandments. If you don't, you're going to go to hell.
Hmm.
Exactly. Exactly. That's definitely what we were taught.
Oh my God.
Exactly. Exactly.
That was like a major thing my grandparents and parents used to control us, is like, oh well, if you don't obey, you're going to hell. Like,
Basically, right?
you do this, you're going to hell, and then, no wonder me and my sister turned out to be drug addicts. Like,
Right. Right. But now something that you said, and both of y'all said, because of what I said, I have to say this out loud, obviously, because it's like, say it out loud. Okay. So I have on this particular new journey, my children
Hmm.
do not know about what has happened with my father. My children don't know. Now I believe my son, he knows now because he's seen the video.
have
We
they
haven't
met your
talked.
dad?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. My mother does not know at all. She has no clue. So the first time that I have gotten this information out there is on YouTube. So I have, my family doesn't know. Nobody knows this except one family member. So since communication, and I'm trying to help people, I'm going to have to let my family know, because the world is gonna be normal for them.
You know,
So
I
That's your
struggled with that
choice.
too. Like with my videos I did with April, I
yeah,
was like, I didn't even, I'm so glad April just like texted me and was like, hey, we're releasing it this day, because she was like, let me know when you're ready. And I was like in so much fear of what my family would think about me. I couldn't let her know. Like, she literally had to push me off the cliff. And I'm so grateful that she did, because, after that first video and I posted it, and, all my family follows me, every single one of them, and they watched it. And my one person who I was worried about texted me and was like, which is my aunt, and I talk about her in the video. And she texted me, she was like, I love you, and I will always be there for you, and
Hmm.
just more support, because she's so
yes,
amazing. She's just so
yes,
amazing.
yes,
But yeah, it's
yeah,
letting go of that um court of judgment, that's connected to family is really hard because it's like you want to be the best you can for them just so you can hear their praise, and realizing that you don't need that is, it's like kind of hurts you, but it's liberating at the same time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So the time is going to come. The time is going to come. And I just want to make sure I said that on the video.
Let's
I love it.
go ahead and put that shit out there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, yeah, it's not easy. And I think
No,
because
it's
I
not.
just jump off cliffs, like
Yeah.
it becomes a habit. Like, let me tell y'all, like once you jump off the first three cliffs, like it just becomes like, whoo, okay, I'm jumping off the cliff. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Like it
Regular.
becomes a
Right.
thing and it becomes exciting. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because when I first came out channeling, that was the first thing was my fucking family. Like,
Right.
and then I'm on screens, all
Right.
kind of faces, and then sometimes like this close to the screen, looking crazy as hell, like yeah, that was a tough one. I was like, but I was like, I don't care. You know what I mean? The only person I really, cared about was my mom. And I was like, let me talk to her about it before she started hearing how her daughter is possessed. Something's taking
So
over her
funny.
body. You know what I mean? Because that's always the next thing when people start channeling. She's possessed by the devil. She don't,
Right. Exactly.
like all these
And it's
things.
like that's not what it is, even though that's how we've been trained to think that that's what it is, and when that's not what it is. Yeah.
So yeah, Miss Brady K, our alchemist. So Brady deals with the herbs. I do have a special. Okay. So Brady K gonna get into it and all that. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
Yes,
she got
I
some
was
special
just
herbs and
taking.
everything for the private parts. But I just want to put this out here real quick before I forget because I had wanted to say something before, but I didn't because I had forgot. So I'm gonna say it right now before I forget again. Okay. So there is a concoction. It's like a mugwort, a fucking what is the popular shit? The Blue Lotus and they telling me that the third, but it's like these three herbs that you put together and like you can go on a little trip. You go on a little trip. It's actually four. Okay, so they're telling me one is the blue lotus, one is a mugwort, one is a type of mushroom, and then you would
Some
know the fourth.
psilocybin mushrooms.
Well, yeah, I mean, I mean, of course, that's cheating.
Yes.
That's cheating. But I mean, something that's um everywhere, that could be sent everywhere. But like we like this for the mind, and it like goes under the tongue. However you make it, it goes under the tongue and right into the bloodstream, and people will be able to have a great like meditative experience. So I just wanted to put that out there because that was on my mind. And I see you working with these it's
So
like
you're saying this is like a concoction I'm going to make in the future?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay.
And it's also you like fucking with I want to say a distillation process because that's the only way I can translate it. But it's like you got beakers and you know how like when they make
Oh
essential
my gosh,
oils from the
I
plants.
seen that in my regression with
Yeah, it's
D.
clear and it's like shit going back and forth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I know
Yeah,
exactly
I
what
see
you're
that.
talking about.
Yeah, I see that. I see that.
Yeah.
That's what I had seen. Okay. I've been meaning to say that for
But
a
no,
while. I keep forgetting. Every time I talk to her too, I'll be like, damn, I just talked to Brady.
um I've been working on this power serum, and St. John's wort
hmm
comes to mind with that concoction. You just
That's
because
interesting.
it's a neurological
It is. I was
affecting
I was on that
herb.
after I had my daughter. Just because
And
it's supposed to be good with the moods, just in case, and
so
that's the
I
thing
feel
for the
like,
women too, postpartum. If you're
Oh yeah.
experiencing that or anything or any shit with your emotions and moods like John Ward. Go ahead.
Yeah, because and it's put out there as like antidepressant, right? And what it also is not, commonly spoken about St. John's wort is that it's also an antiviral.
Mm-hmm.
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 And
It is.
so that's why, with the mugwort and what else did you say?
The Blue Lotus.
Blue lotus. Yes, and there's some blue lotus in my power serum. And then the psilocybin mushrooms and the St. John's wort, like that would be a very good because love. Okay, anyway.
Oh,
Okay, so
I might
now
fly away.
I can remember it now. It's rec- on record.
And
Um,
she said she sees a fourth one that's gonna come to you. It's a fourth item.
yeah. Oh, anyway. So it's very good for like keeping you calm and just um on a level, and also elevating your immune system at the same time. And other mushrooms besides psilocybin mushrooms that have helped me are like lion's mane and reishi, because reishi is very calming as well, and lion's mane also helps strengthen the nervous system
Mm-hmm.
and support the brain. and and I am not a doctor. I have had medical training as a nurse, but I am not certified to diagnose or tell anybody what to take. But as far as for me, they have really helped. And I love all my Shilajit. Shilajit has helped me with like energy and mental clarity. You know, I'm a private chef, so having to come up with like people ask you like, "Oh, I want a dinner, like what do you recommend?" You got to come up, they want to know a whole fucking menu right
Yeah.
on the spot,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So it's really helped me like keep mental clarity to where I can just like, "Oh, okay, well, you like this, so, this is what I would make." You know, but
Yeah,
anyway.
just in case y'all forgot, Brady is a chef, a professional.
Yes.
Okay, the Michelin, all the things that go with the attributes of being a chef. She's that 5 star. Did y'all know there was like a 10 star? Okay,
No.
so it's not popular in the United States, so she probably like a 7. Okay, I'm just where in the United States it's popular to be 4 stars. Okay, I'm just saying. Go ahead.
Wow. Can't wait to taste it in March.
I
Oh, yes.
know.
Yes, I am so excited. And I have been really working on elevating my cooking with herbs and incorporating them into like everything. So you're getting that macronutrients, because that's where it's really at. It
Mhm.
it doesn't matter how much you eat. If you're eating macronutrients, you
And
can
that
easily
zest of
go
flavor.
without eating because your body is not telling you you're lacking anything. Because that's why we get those hunger pains. It's either because the parasites inside of us are telling us we want more poison, sugar, or because we're not eating the high macronutrients like we get in herbs or microgreens or stuff like that. And so yeah. And my recent client has had like um her visits. I've been with her for 3 years, and her doctor said that her, recent physical is better than the previous year.
Okay.
Awesome.
The quantum
Awesome.
healing. Okay, yeah.
Right,
Yes.
right, right. April, you were talking about like women that they have their babies. I am also not a doctor. But I have
Okay, let's
learned a
just
lot
drop
of
this so we can stop saying it. This video is for
information.
educational purposes only. We by no means are impersonating or being of that of any medical, or we are not giving any kind of legal advice here. Okay. And this is all copywritten. You Thrive Coaching is trademarked. So this is all our personal information for entertainment purposes. Thank you.
Okay, so there was a doctor. There's a doctor on. I need to find it too. Again, there's a doctor on YouTube that said something that was very profound to me. He was saying that, okay, like, when we're pregnant, one of the big things that they like, you got to have your folic acid. You
Mm-hmm.
got to have folic acid, right? Well,
I'm gonna
as
go to
time
Broadway.
goes by,
Yeah, yeah.
we start learning more things, and certain things aren't as good as they thought they were. So
Right.
come to find out, so come to find out, according to what the doctor said, that folic acid has been causing women to go into postpartum depression. The main thing that we're supposed to take that's in our prenatal vitamins, according to him, according to him, that has been causing women to go into postpartum depression. I was like, that's interesting.
No, that's funny because this is also interesting because when I was looking for prenatals and when I got pregnant, that was a major thing too. That was, the folic acid. But um something didn't feel right about it. It just didn't feel
Right.
right. So I just
Mm.
started looking for vitamins, the prenatals that didn't have it.
Look at
And
that. Interesting, right?
really dealing with things that have been, that are natural fruits and veggies that have been
Mm-hmm.
fermented and dehydrated.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the source of the actual vitamins, not, them chemically making it up and saying this is
Right.
vitamin E,
Synthetic
D,
stuff.
this, and that. Yeah,
Right.
so that's important. But you're
Yeah.
right, because I heard about that later. Just like they tell you with all the fucking fiber and shit, and then you got too many people taking in all this fiber and it's counterproductive. Anyway.
Right. Binding them up. Doing the opposite of what it's supposed to do. Right. Turn in the opposite
So,
direction.
ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank y'all for tuning in. Okay. So, as I said, we got Miss Jenita doing her coaching thing, and it is so varied. Let's just keep that in mind. So, it's like whatever you are dealing with from a sexual standpoint, including, all the things that come along with it, including intimacy, all of these things. That's your person.
Yes.
Clear up any of that, whether it's getting your power back, whether it's you might like the power too much, honey. You know what I'm saying? And you just
Right.
want to, however, you want to balance and harmonize all of that out. We also got Miss Brady K down there, our alchemist, okay? And she will have the yoni sting, the dick thing, you know what I'm saying, for the males.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even get into my herbs about the male
Enhancement.
penis steam and the vagina steam. Yes.
I
Okay.
got
That'll
it.
be that'll be on me on Janita and I's next podcast.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So we got that coming up. Like I said, we doing quantum healing over here in this time. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So we
Right.
got our goddesses showing up and showing out. And then we're gonna have more entertaining shows coming up for y'all. See what they got popping off next. They're gonna be coming to y'all twice a month. And then we're gonna have a good time. All right. So any words y'all wanna close us out with?
Oh, me for okay, okay, okay. Um, Communication is like the big thing for right now for me is but like uh, I just how do I want to put this? To create the highest good. Okay. Be mindful of everything you say, every word you say, because it is a spell.
Mm.
Also, be mindful of all the words you're letting be said to you. And
Including the words that come from yourself.
yes, yes, thank you. Double that. And, listen to that voice. It's okay to question things. You know, be be mindful and really observe yourself in every situation of how you're responding, what you're saying, what you're letting be said to you. Yeah, and that's it. I love you all.
So to piggyback on what Brady said, um, definitely stand outside yourself using your imagination. Stand outside yourself and look at what people are saying to you and what you are and your thoughts, because thoughts become things. What you focus on the most is what you'll see in your life. And if you don't like what you're seeing in your life, then you need to focus on what you do want. Um, there was something specific that I was going to say, and it did slip my mind, so I have to say it another time. But love yourself. The love that you're looking for outside is already in you. Hugs, love yourself. You're worthy. You're enough. You're awesome. Very important. It doesn't matter if you believe it or not. I'm telling you everything that I just said.
Yes.
And you are loved. Oh, I know what
You
I was gonna say.
deserve.
In one of my in my read in my reading, my higher self let me know that she was upset with me because of the negative thoughts that I think myself. And we all know about these negative thoughts that we have in our head that nobody else knows. You know, you do something like, "Oh, that was so stupid. That was dumb. Why you do that? Oh, look at your cellulite. Oh, you do that's ugly. Look at this. Look at that. You know what I'm saying? The net, y'all. We have so many negative thoughts, and uh, our self doesn't like that. So start speaking positive to yourself. Start loving yourself. Stop being mean. Stop being mean to yourself. That's it.
Okay. They just both said the same thing in different ways, but it's the same message. Okay. I love it. We want to thank y'all so much for tuning in and being here with us on this episode of Celestial Quantum Healing. Until the next time, peace, love, and bliss. We love y'all so much. Peace, peace, peace.